morally right to you and the rest of the planet, and pretty much anybody who's got good sense. So, what I'm talking about today is basically, and I don't really know how to phrase it, and I've been trying to think for a while how I'm going to phrase it, or I would have posted something yesterday, but I'm mostly trying to talk about the way we interact with people. And when I say interact with people, I mean interact with people who are pretending to be something they're not, pretending to be your friend, pretending to be your lover, your brother or sister, or your father, or whatever, but really they're deceptive. And they use you as a way to get what they want out of things. And so the question is, do you like bullies? I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. And I thought about this for quite some time, like I said, or I would have posted something the other day. But the thing is, do you like bullies? Do you really like socializing with them? Do you like interacting with them, having fun with them, doing what they want you to do? Me, I can't stand bullies. I don't like anybody that treats you unfairly, who lies to you as a way to make a joke. You know, they think it's funny once you figure out they lie, or someone that sits there and tries to get you to do something they're not going to do, or do something that will put you in danger, or destroy your life. You know, or someone who just has joy out of seeing misery and suffering from someone else. I mean, you have to think about it. Do you really like bullies? Because somewhere in your life there's one that's right next to you and you don't even realize it. They're bullying you, they're talking you out of a relationship that might be beneficial for you with the opposite sex. They're trying to stop you from making money because why should you have more money than them? Which is actually the most stupidest thing to me, and jealous thing, because it's like you're jealous of someone else because they got more money than you, to put the value in yourself and get it for your damn self. You know, people that think your intelligence is a crippling thing to them, like you're trying to insult them by talking about something that you enjoy, that you actually have knowledge on. And that's another thing, bullying you because of something you like, trying to make you feel like whatever you like is dumb and irrelevant and no one gives a damn. Whatever you like is special to you, and that makes your character, so it's a good thing you like that thing and be glad you do. You know? And this is where I'm at right now. It's like, I couldn't figure out any other way to say it. I was going to say miserable people, but I say it a lot. Man, so just to make more sense of it, I hate bullies. Anybody that picks on a little guy, even if you're a big person, you're still a little guy to that other person because that person thinks they're better than you. Where does this self-arrogance come from? Like, what's this whole entitlement to thinking you're better than the next person come from? And in any situation, when it comes to race or jobs, any damn thing, where does this stuff come from? One minute they're washing dishes with you in a job, next minute they become a manager and they think they're better than you. No, you were right here with us. You forgot where you came from, kid. Somebody got to put you back in place. And so that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, forget about that and think about you. You know, you help somebody to the point to where you can't, you don't take care of yourself and you miss things that's supposed to happen in your life because you've been wasting your time trying to help somebody who has been sucking your energy dry, wasting your time. And then here's the funny part about it. You could be hanging around that person because you truly want to be that friend, that lover, whatever, but that person's so toxic in personality that you get tired of it. But to them, they'll take that as soon as you stop talking to them as a way of saying, oh, I'm tired of that person, I'm glad they let me go. Because they're thinking that they're automatically feeling guilty that you're going to say something about them. But when you don't, it makes them look bad even more. And so these people are bullies. You know what I'm saying? They're like how can I say this? They're using you to compensate for how they feel about decisions and the way they live their life. Okay? They could be a person that's sitting back and they didn't let their life go to shit because they really want to die. So they live in a miserable state where they're a hoarder or, they didn't just sit there and find a way to go against their doctor's wishes to keep them alive and to keep them healthy. And so they use you because they see you as a symbol of everything that they can't be. And they want to suck that energy away from you. And it's like, why? Why can't you go find that energy yourself? Why can't you find that knowledge, that peace, that, harmony for yourself? They don't want to. They want to sit back and torture you with their darkness and punish you and put you in a box and try to tell you what to do. And when I say that, I mean they're trying to put you in jail so people can tell you what to do. Because that's what happens when you're in jail. And it's just the bad thing about it is then what pisses me off, and this is where government and lawyers and judges and stuff become the booger hanging in one of my nose. But anyway, that's the wrong one. But anyway, so I tripped myself out. But anyway, you know, they put you in this situation in the legal system and they label you with all these things. You can be having someone lie to you about everything. You figure it out, you try to solve it in your way, and you're the bad guy. But yet they will believe that other person, especially if it's a female, over anybody else. And you could just be a regular dude that's trying to live your life, and your whole world is destroyed by someone's false accusations and lies. And just that's the only way they can attack you, because they can't attack you physically. They're too afraid to do that. They're too afraid to go into your private property and take stuff from you. So the best way to do it is to try to insult your character, to belittle you and bring you down to a level where they feel miserable about themselves. But then once they get you down there, they don't feel miserable no more. They feel happy, like, hey, I got that bastard. Ha ha. They don't got that cool car no more. They don't got that, PlayStation 5 or whatever it is that they idolize that you have that they don't. They feel glad that they got it taken away from you by legal actions. This is where the law is bad, because hey, possession is the 9/10 of the law, which means they can have your shit and then say it's theirs and they'll believe them because they actually have it. So this is the stupidest scenario where I believe, and this is my opinion, personal opinion. I'm not telling people go do this, whatever. You can do it if you want. You can take it from me and go, hey, he's right, and go do it. But I believe there has to be a restructure of legal systems. Okay, law, bills that's been paid, and I mean, Capitol Hill's name is Bill on Capitol Hill or some shit. I forget how that goes. And then it's like you gotta freaking sit there and fix the Constitution and then butcher the Constitution to where it doesn't make sense. And I think the Supreme Court going by trying to fix certain things lately might be a good thing over the rest of Congress and the presidencies and all that. And the president's just a spokesperson, a puppet in a way. His thing is supposed to be commander in chief, but he's not going out to war. He's just sitting there being a thing for the cameras and stuff. He's not really worried about what's happening in the country. But every president I see that's been president over the past 10 years or so, maybe a little bit more, have been nothing but puppets. They're just letting things go by, and they're all making the wrong decisions in some way. I don't care what side they are. I'm not going to sit here and say one word. As soon as you say one of the words, when it refers to the government, when I talk about government, meaning Democrats or Republicans, they start blustering their nut and start flipping out and da-da-da. So when you say Democrat, Republican, people start saying shit. Or we say something about Republicans, who cares? Okay, your vote don't matter. There's an electoral vote that actually makes the president. Our votes are just there to give people comfort. You're getting your comfort from that. I'll guarantee you, if everyone in this nation voted for the same way, the other guy still would win. And I just believe that. This is my opinion. I'm not gonna sit there and say something otherwise. But I have to say, there's too much baby and there's too much coddling and stuff, and it's always in the wrong way. And what I'm getting at is this: the government itself is bullies to the American people. Okay, they're bullying students, they're bullying people, that everyday working people. We're really getting bullied two ways. If you're a working class person, you're getting bullied by the government, and you're getting bullied by the scum of the earth, because there's so much homeless people and crazy stuff going on in the streets, and you're getting bullied by that too. You can't even walk through the damn store without somebody trying to get $1 from you or a cigarette or whatever. You get on the damn public transportation, it's like putting yourself in the ghetto while it's rolling. Okay? It's just like, it doesn't make sense to me why corruption demonic behavior and evil reigns. And if you think it doesn't, you're a complete moron and an idiot. If you believe there's no such thing as God, if you believe there's no such thing as the devil or evil or demons even, then you already fell victim to those evil traps. And you're already in line with the devil, and you're already probably possessed with a demon. You have to have God in your life. You have to have that structure to balance you out, to make you a solid, strong, stoic person, not a victim to anything. You know, it's like this phrase, you stand for something, you fall for anything. Well, if you don't really stand under any type of label, and you don't, believe in something, and you don't have a code to live by, or any kind of thing that brings your life value, then you are always going to be a victim of that bully. The biggest bullies of all are the ones that are doing all the demonic behavior. There has to be a cutoff point for partying. There has to be a cutoff point for chasing panties. There has to be a cutoff point for trying to deal with people who ain't on the same path as you. There has to be a cutoff point where you can say, hey, how you doing? Good to see you again, man. All right, bye, later, right? Without having to give them your number or your Facebook. Like, I have Facebook, and anyone that's connected to my Facebook knows I'm not really on that thing. There's nothing going on there. They don't got Cafe World no more, or Ninja Wars. And the Ninja Wars will kept me on there for a minute, and then it's gone. So it's like there's no point in being a part of something that's just a bunch of chaos now. It's like the media and certain things are bullying you to believe a certain concept on how to live, a certain way to be, to suit their narrative, to suit their reality, their concept of what they want the world to be. The world is not about being a part of a sex group, which is stupid because, and I've always thought it was stupid because it's like we already know what our sex is, who we are, and why change it to suit somebody else? Or that's why I never understood the whole thing of gay people, because they're like, okay, I'm born this way, but then later on you're having a baby with a woman, or you're going back and he's all over. It was just confuses the hell out of me. If you're born this way, why do you keep changing the hell? It's a decision, and it's just something that has to be figured out in that community, I guess. But the thing that doesn't make sense to me is, why should everybody else accept all the changes that is put in society that doesn't suit people's lifestyles or needs? And this is why I say the government itself is bullying us into believing these things. You know, Disney, which used to be this big kid company, they talk so much crap about Disney now. It's hilarious. And I got drugged to Disneyland so many times when I was a kid. After a while things started getting lame, because it's like, okay, this is for little kids, right? But now, they're trying to have rated R content thanks to Deadpool. Let's be honest, if you want violence in Marvel movies, Disney had enough money, and still has enough money, to be able to create a whole nother company like they did a long time ago, and just put Marvel in that company, make that whole company about Marvel movies. It's another branch of the Disney Corporation. As well as they took Hulu, which makes no sense how a Warner Brother cartoon known as Animaniacs is able to be played on Hulu, but yet is owned by Disney now. And the same thing with Fox, and so on and so on. Okay, they bought all these places, pulling themselves thin, and what they did was they bullied everybody into being bought up by them, thinking that they were the ultimate superior entertainment content. But all they did now is destroy how people believe in things. And so, I don't know. Where to go with that. But entertainment, from what you hear, you got the people that's in a secret agency and secret corruption, and they're grooming people to do this, and there's implants or whatever, implants. They plant people in the entertainment business, like this Spice Girl they keep talking about, which looks pretty stupid and sounds really bad. Like, I don't know what happened to music. I'm sorry, I don't like the new stuff because of stuff like Ice Spice and garbage. Girl rappers is being forced on us, and this is why, once again, I said there's bullies with that. I think they get it forced on us to sell the sexual image. but they're not like, in vogue where they were just sexy by moving around slowly and wearing nice clothing without being so standingly clad. So it's just a reset needs to happen, and it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen by the government. And the way I look at it, they want all the bullies to exist, to stay. Those SJWs, the Karens as y'all call them, they're out there because the government needs them to be out there. They need them to put that chaos out there. They need the enemy to be focused here in the government and in the states, the city states, for the attention to be drawn the other way and not see what's really happening in the world. And it's the same thing with the accepting, this whole transgender thing is outrageous. They put it out there to confuse you, to separate the sexes, to make it to where there's no population of humans. We're gonna have a long. It's gonna be like those movies you see where there's a small group of people left, and they're fighting to survive against some kind of element or some kind of creature, or even aliens. Because this is how we choose to live our world now. Is to sit there and think loneliness is the best way, but no one's thinking of the long-term thing. No one's thinking about the true connections. People that's not having someone in their life and feeling lonely. I watched this news clip about this boy who went on someone's door looking for a friend and didn't have none. He was talking to a couple that just moved in and had a 2-year-old daughter, which was kind of weird. But then there was another one with a little girl, trying to have a birthday party, and no one came, and the mom went online to get people to come. And that's sad. We live in a society like that now, where kids are lonely from the jump. There's a thing that's always been there, but it's worse now because there's entertainment in a certain way that makes no sense. It's like, I don't get why we're being forced. And this is why I say bullies, once again. We're being forced to enjoy entertainment in a certain way. We're getting forced all this technology, and no one sees it as that. They see it as, oh wow, this is cool, it's the new thing, I need to get it. No, think about it for a minute. Do you really need to get it? What's your favorite game? What system is it on? Oh, you can buy tons of those. So why you buy a whole brand new system where graphics are supposed to be different? But to me, a lot of the graphics are still the same. There's only so many different ways you can create these things if you start learning things through Blender and stuff. You're like, oh, okay, I can do that style, I can do this style, but there's no new style. It's still the same. You make a sharper image if you want, but it doesn't make it a new graphic. They just the same type of graphics that's changed it to a different style of using it. I don't know. This is my point. Like, for instance, the seafood game is like a certain style of graphics, how they design the artwork in there, and it's actually the easiest and the smoothest. So the thing about it is, to people, oh, it's a new style, or it's, I don't like that, it's kind of old. Well, you don't know the difference because you don't know how to create it. So you're being forced this stuff upon you to believe. It's kind of like when it was going on back in the day about 8-bit and 16-bit and 64-bit and 32-bit. Okay, you didn't know what none of that shit meant, but you still bought it because they told you it was cooler and it's better and it's faster and more efficient, when it really wasn't. Same thing with the Teslas. It's like, oh, Tesla's the best car, but now they're getting recalled. So what's best is what's best for you. I'm going on with all these concepts at a time, trying to make you understand that bullies aren't just someone that's in your life, or someone that you walk across the street and meet, or someone that's harassing you when you're in class or something like that. Bullies are everywhere, in everything. It's like when you're watching, and this is really stupid, but it's when you're watching Shogun Assassins and the little kid tells you that the ninjas is everywhere, and he's like looking out for ninjas. Sometimes ninjas are pretty women or old women or whatever, but that's what it's like. Bullies is everywhere. And you don't know what it is, so you gotta talk about every bit of thing that a bully might come at you with. Bill companies are bullies. They bully you, pay me now or I'm gonna cut your bills off. And that's kind of funny. But I was thinking that way. But anyway, so yeah, it's like they bullying you. They're trying to make you do something you don't want to do. And the thing about it is, what can you do to separate yourself from all this? nonsense that's created by bullies and wicked people. Lawyers being one of the best bullies there is because they're able to lie and look good upon within the law, even when they're lying about you and they're your own damn defense. Think about that. They're your defense to back you up, but they're lying about you to a judge, to everybody, to suit them, to get them paid however way they feel like they're getting paid. Sell you out literally to a DA, and it's called perjury. And I've had it happen to me. They try to make me get this thing, but my mind's in a whole different set for I'm like straight black and white on the whole God tip. You're not gonna get me to lie. You're not gonna get me to do this and that. You know what I'm saying? You guys are committing a crime right now by putting me in a room with the DA and my lawyer and a judge. And believe me, they do this all the time. So many people, it's not like a Law and Order where you go to freaking court and it's solved and this person gets time. And no, there's a whole bunch of crap. They're making deals. People get deals. They get 28 months. And then they get 4 years probation or some crap. You know, that's what really happens in the law. And this whole trying hard thing, okay, I don't know what it is, but I remember a time where black folks, I'm just talking about black people now, were trying to accept being black in a way where they all wanted respect. They were able to try to treat people with respect to prove that they're not a nuisance, that they're not a problem, that they're not all this, you know, and they looked out for each other. But now everyone wants to be some stupid criminal, gangbanger, all this shit, right? And here's the thing, everyone's got tattoos now. What any criminal knows if you watch it, freaking anybody that is sane that knows about crime knows when you watch Dateline or anything like that, they're always talking about, oh, that person had a tattoo of a cowboy jumping on a bomb or some crap, and oh, that person got a tattoo of Bugs Bunny, whatever. That's how they describe you, so they know it's you when they come to arrest you. So if you have all these tattoos, they're going to label each one, name each one, and they're always going to come for you. So why be a bad guy unless you're trying to actually go to jail? I mean, seriously, if you got all these tattoos, that's the point of putting you in jail, right? It's because you gave them something to identify you with. And most people that get tattoos in jail, it's because they did something to earn those tattoos, like kill somebody or something sexual garbage. Okay, so it's like, I don't know how they say that, just ignorantly bliss type of thing. I'm probably saying it wrong, but yeah. It's like this blissfully ignorant, that's what I'm trying to say. It's really stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And so I was like, someone's bullying you into that lifestyle. Like a woman that's getting, like a young woman who's trying to be a part of that street life bullshit, meets a dude's older, forcing him to get to like them, like they love him and all that, but then asking for all the money, asking for this and that, making a chick go dress like a hoe, go hoe now, give me some money, all that crap. And it's like you let a guy turn you out to the point you got burnt out, and now you assed out with kids probably. And then to what point? What point did that satisfy you? What part of it was your decision, and what part of it was you getting bullied into that decision? Okay? And I'm just saying this is a real thing. I mean, you can look at it how you want, but it's the way of the world, and you guys know I'm right. Those of you who understand where I'm coming from. What's the point of trying to put somebody in a scenario like that and act like you're flawless? All this negative shit. And excuse my language because I know YouTube or whatever ain't digging it, you know, I don't know, platforms ain't digging cuss words, but still, it gets me mad enough to do that. Get me mad enough to cuss, but it's like, why? Why? So, I mean, obviously someone likes these bullies, or they wouldn't keep singing about them. You wouldn't keep making a movie about them. You would turn your back on anything that accepts that type of nature. Instead, they want to turn their back on the most positive, like movies that are like made about God, or historical movies that talk about good people doing things, or anything like that. We used to have movies that were just funny and people laugh. They don't even do those that good no more. It's like everything's been done, so let's just do something and ruin it for everybody. And so it's just the same thing with life. If there's someone out there ruining your life, doing stuff behind your back, underhanded stuff, Trying to make people hate you, trying to make people despise you. It's like going on Instagram, opening an account. As soon as you open it, someone's telling you you're doing something wrong so they can try to get money out of you. How? I just opened a damn account. I had that literally happen to me when I opened my Instagram account the first time. And some woman was like, "Oh, we're the agency, and then we're trying to see you did this." And what did what? I just opened a damn account. What are you talking about? Like, I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "Oh, we're the agency. You're doing that." No, you're a con artist. You're a catfish or something. And it's stupid. But you have people like that out there and legally can't do anything to process them, stop them from stealing identity, stop them from, I think they call it romancing or something. I seen it on some show where they pretend to be their lover and then they're milking them and all this shit. But it's at a point where I just play a game and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I like you and this and that." And the whole time I'm sucking up their information. I know who they are, I know their name, I know where they're coming from. So I don't even waste my time. So if you're one of those people and you're trying to contact me, I know everything already. So leave me the hell alone. And that's bullying in the biggest term. It's not just like you're bullying someone, because I make you think on all these websites that it's safe. It's safe to do all this stuff, but you can't reach them when there's a problem. So that's a problem. You can't reach them and say, "Hey, there's a problem. Somebody's bullying me online or harassing me." Well, no one cares because their main profit is to keep people online. So even if that person is online bullying and stuff, they're still on there and they're still bringing attention to that website. Because you got to think, whoever they're trying to get money out of or whatever is going to keep going to that website to talk to that person, so it keeps their website lucrative in so many ways. So you're being bullied the whole time and they're getting profit off of it. And you got to think of this. It's like there should be a law for everything that's wrong right now. And I think the best way to do law or rights when it comes to American citizens is to start changing the way we do it. Literally go up to people and ask them, "Are you being, are you being worked out of money in your job?" We go down and see how many people are, and then go to that job and investigate it and shut that job down, or make them reimburse every employee. Same thing with the freaking online crap. Or is this website bringing people to you that's using your identity? Bang, find that person, find that website, make this website responsible for the actions of these people, and make this website shut down. Is this woman going around destroying men's life, making so many men go to jail and so forth, and all this crap? Bam, shut that woman down, put her behind bars, make her pay a freaking big ass restitution fee, and lock her ass up. People need to be responsible for the pain and suffering they put on the world. They don't need to be glorified and considered to be a saint. Like when George Floyd died, and there's the whole thing, and Black Lives Matter and all that. The funniest thing is everyone that they try to stand up for during Black Lives Matter was someone who did an outrageous crime, and yet they were glorified as victims. Let me tell you something. I got stories. I got shit on my record that don't make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? And it's because the cops are trying to lock a person up. They're trying to destroy a person of another race before that person even begins to live their life. And if you don't believe that, then you're a fool. Because this country is ran by a concept of hate and bigotry and negativity. I choose not to let negativity in my life whatsoever and try to avoid it at all costs. If you're a negative person and everything you're talking to me about is negative and you're not happy about a damn thing and nothing's positive, then don't talk to me. I'm not going to listen to you after a while. I'm going to think you're stupid. And I'm going to think you're doing this stuff on purpose to try to piss me off to get me to fight you or something. Which I ain't got no energy to waste on you or anybody. So it's best to stay safe. But the problem is, how long can a person actually put up with crap until they blow up? That's the big deal. And this is where the bullies get happy and start lining up going, "Yeah, that's right, I got you, ha ha ha," because they made you flip out. That's their whole joy of the whole day. Literally, if you go to jail, there's people who've been in there for life. Normal things don't entertain them. But you come in pretending to be hard and all that crap, it entertains them when you go to the hole and all that, and they think it's funny. And then there's all these lies after that about you. Where I'm getting at is this. You gotta really figure out who is for you. Listen to how they feel about you, what they say, and analyze how they act and what they do. Are you hurting their feelings or not? But bring them closer to you. Build your bond and your relationship not with the person that's shiny or the girl that looks beautiful, but the ones that actually are looking for the same things you're looking for, but not trying to manipulate you and do all this crazy, acting like the other person. That's the whole thing that's dumb. There's no individuality, but those that are individual, keep away from those that have traits of copying people and acting like part of the world. This is a thing. I'm trying to say it in a certain way, but there's a thing people do when they're not trying to be like everyone else, and you should be able to see that and weed them out. I don't mean like weed them out in a bad way, but weed the bad people out is what I mean. But you should be able to see the ones that are able to hold value for themselves and be able to try to find a way to connect to them on your level and just accept it. Just accept them, and then that make the world better than all this chaos and this suffering and bitterness and misery, and it shouldn't be there. But it's there because everyone wants to be the bully. They want to be the bad guy. They love the bad guy more than they love the good guy. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people that love to. Just look at the freaking movies and things that's out there. They like the bad guy more than they like the good guy. Of course the good guy's going to win the movie. But the thing about it is, how bad was the bad guy that's connected to that good guy? If he's really good, that movie will be watched more often than what you think. And just by that alone, you can say, okay, I like this movie. For example, so many people claim to like Scarface, and some of them probably never seen the movie. But it's a fucked up movie in the end. The guy dies. There's all this crap going on, a big shootout, whatever, dope and all that. And that's why they like it. But even there, it comes to a point of consciousness and awareness. And if your lifestyle is all about just getting high and being, me personally, why do you want to be a cockroach? Why do you want to be a cucaracha? Why do you want to hide in cracks and crevices smoking drugs and, walk around like a rat rambling through some trash and come out, what the hell is this? We're supposed to be humans, not some species that is considered a pest. This is my personal opinion. But someone who forced either drugs on them. I heard stories about parents forcing drugs on their kids. I heard stories about them being laced with stuff and then they hooked on the stuff, all kinds of crap. But if you have a strong will, strong mind, you have a strong body, so there's strong awareness, and you won't be able to be caught up in any of that situations. But this is the thing, we all fall victim to bullies and perpetrators, wimps and posers. Okay, girls dig wimps and posers more than anything. They talk about they want a real man, but you went for the wimp and the poser. Why you denied the real man? So it's like, you're just another chick that likes wimps and posers and candy asses and shit like that. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't know. But seriously, you have to seriously look at this a certain way when it comes to even the doctors and the hospitals. How many stories have you heard about a doctor drugging somebody and molesting a woman or abusing some kid or something? There's no safety from the wickedness in the world except for trying to be your own person, be strong, and believe in God and try to find that connection with them people that understand the way you do. And I can say believe in God and you think, oh, go to church, but then churches aren't safe either, because some of the stuff they're saying is not godly or not accurate with how God's belief is. And you would know this if you read the book for yourself instead of just waiting to go to church to hear it. And most of the time you can learn from hearing, you can learn from visual things and hearing. But when you read something, it's like your mind opens up more, you learn more words, you build a confidence because, hey, I read this book and I understand what it's all talking about. I'm pretty happy about it. Like I was in some stupid speech thing, class, and I was talking about this book I read I couldn't figure out anything else to do for a speech, but I was lined up to do a speech. And so the book was about 16 Clues to Your Past Life. Pretty old book, created with 93, I think. And I had read the book, but it was funny to me when I first read it. I'm like, what do you mean 17, 16 clues or whatever it was to your past life? And so I started reading it, and I was like, that's interesting. And so when I started talking about this speech in this group, about this book I read, people came at me with all kinds of problems. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought you believe in God. Why do you do that? I said, dude, the first thing I said when I started this speech is I'm going to talk about this book I read. And dude flipped out. And somebody else was like, how do you know this and that happens in your life? When you dress a certain way, that means you're connected to your past life. I said, that's something I read in the book. You know, it's like you got to read to understand things, not read something a little bit and get the rest from somebody else, or watch a movie where they talked about a little bit of a book, because it's different. It's like that movie The Shack. If you read the book, way different in The Shack. People think it's a real story too, but there's a part in there, if you understand writing, where the dude messes up in the phrases. You can say, okay, this guy made this story, this isn't a real story, because there's a certain way. I can't explain it to you right now, but I had the book in a minute. Somewhere around chapter 15, the dialogue changes, and you're like, like that's not real. But see, you would notice if you read the book. You see what I'm saying? So this is my point. Our legal system and education system is all based around learning and obtaining knowledge. But they want you to pay for the knowledge when it's given to you freely. You just got to go out and search for it. You got to know what it is you're truly trying to find and learn that you believe in, and you'll obtain that knowledge freely. It's just that simple. And you'll be smart. And there's people wiser than I, wiser than you, ain't never been to college. Never been to college, and they just learn from basic life and reading and experiencing things. And I think that's the way we truly do learn. Most of us. I think the way the classroom settings are is to force brainwash upon you and force you to believe something you don't want to believe and tell you that's correct. I remember multiple times in school I had this occasion where I had to stand up to a teacher about what I believe in. And I was a little dude. And I believed in all this crap. And it turns out I was right and this teacher's wrong. Multiple times. My biggest time I remember was in 8th grade. I remember one time in like 3rd grade I flipped out about some crap they were showing us back then. And so forth. It's like, and in science class I flipped out about some science that was, biological frog thing, something. But anyway, my point is, they're forcing you. You are a victim to what? To all the people with negativity, dramatic drama, that are miserable, been abused, and chaotic. That's just it. You're brainwashed by bullies. Your life is in the fault of bullies. Unless you have that strong, protected, and tight-knit family unit, which none of us do. But if you had that bond, that tight-knit family, that people that stick together no matter what, you mess with my brother, I got you, I'm gonna get your ass, or you touch my sister, you're dead. You know what I'm saying? None of that happens anymore. And if it does, it's from people who already had that tight-knit family and were able to keep passing that down the lines. But a lot of us don't have that because of the separations that the government gave us, or women making their own selfish choices and desires to be with people who are more ridiculous than them. And it's just the honest to God truth. We gotta find a way to end the chaos, to stop the bullying, the hate, the harassment, the misery, and the teachings of hate, misery, bullying, and bigotry. We gotta find a way to end all that. And to do that is we gotta find our bullies, whoever the bully is, and eliminate them. And I'm not talking about just go out and kill them. This is eliminate them out of all our lives. Push them down the way they push everyone else down. And I'm not saying get an eye for an eye, but in that sense, some ways, you gotta look at it that way. Get an eye for eye by just ignoring the bully. The bully doesn't exist. As soon as they start talking, you don't hear a word they're saying. You walk away. You move away from them. They don't live. If everyone does this to this person, and multiple people like that, it'll make them actually believe they're a ghost. They'll think they're hanging out with Whoopi Goldberg or some shit. Okay, seriously. So that's all I gotta say about it. I mean, I'm not gonna keep going on about it, and maybe I'm ranted off into some different road. But I'm telling you, all of it is connected to one source: wickedness, evil, and bulliness. And these people are bullying you, and they stick around your life just to make your life miserable, talk bad about you, and because people don't really know you, they think, okay, that person's telling the truth about that person when they're truly not. So it's just all stupid. But loneliness is the most powerful weapon out there. It would bring someone down to a level that will destroy them. So try to find that connection, whatever it is, no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it is. There's someone out there that can connect with you on a level that makes you feel positive. You gotta get over your hang-ups to make it work. And with that being said, this is moral high ground. You can, write in the comment or whatever you think I'm morally right or wrong with everything I just said today. And keep it a little light on the being offensive towards me, because I was probably being offensive in your eyes. So, like I said, peace be with you. Blessings upon you always. Till next time, peace. Word life. Solid Snake.